Oh, after 80 days. And I was just, I posted a bottle of cider. I was like, I started a day before 80 days, so don't even try and come with like, oh, Katie, the day ain't over. I was like, the day's over. The day's been over. I'm having a donut.
Well, I'll tell you a little secret. I had Sam run to Dunkin' Donuts yesterday and get me a donut, so it is totally fine.
Oh,
Can you move
crazy.
a little to your right? Because I can't see you. I think it might be, there you go. It might be my phone too, because.
Well, I'm going to turn off my video and let you all chat, and then that will probably help too.
Bye, Chip.
Bye, Chip.
Bye.
Okay, I'll go here. Hold on one second.
Wow.
So, Katie, how are you?
Oh, I'm very overwhelmed at the moment. Like, so 80 days finished, and it was very hard. And now I'm talking to you. I'm just trying not to cry. Don't tell me it's okay to cry because I won't stop. So I'm just like, oh, keep it in, Katie. This is a big moment for you.
Here's the thing. You should never keep in your emotions. I mean, unless you're about to like punch somebody in the face, you know?
Yeah.
But I mean, when there's good emotions flowing in your body and there's success that's happening and think like, you know, when you make decisions in your life that bring you to a certain point, you know, some people say, oh, you're lucky. And you're like, no, like preparation meted opportunity. You know what I mean? And so if at some point you need to shed a tear or 5, I'm totally down. I mean, I'm not going to be there to hug you. That's the only thing that sucks.
Oh, it's crazy.
But so tell me about, first of all, tell me about your 80 days. I mean, congratulations. 80 days is a long time. So I know you must have been like digging.
Yeah. Well, it was 93 altogether. Not that I'm bitter about that. They didn't account the rest days. So, you know, I found that I really liked it, but my mindset suffered. Like, I found that because I was doing it more for results, I was a lot more hard on myself. So I was trying to bulk because I kept using Insanity Max 30. And then even if you bulk clean, you still gain that bit of belly fat, you know? So I was like I caught myself one day looking in the mirror, just pulling my pants, you know, just being so negative. Like, oh, that ain't good. I was like, Katie, that's not you. What's the point? You're waking up. Because I live in hotels 4 to 5 days a week. I have no fridge, so I got food shop every day, you know. So my 8 days is intense. And I was just like, what's the point of you doing all that and then being this person where you don't like yourself in the mirror? I'm like, you probably, you know, I had all up the body. So I've learned for myself now that if it doesn't light the fire in my soul, I've got to let it go. It's okay if I cry, because I'm very much like, I need to, you know, even like 21 Day Extreme Fix. Like, so my coach, Megan, me and her was in Pizza Express, and I ordered like garlic dough balls and everything. She's like, Kate, that's not in your plan. I was just like, well, it tastes good, you know, but I was never like that with Max 30. I was like so zoned in, I wouldn't cheat or anything. So, and she told me, she was like, you need to really look at yourself and realize why you're doing that. And I think like after 80 days, it made me realize to really look into myself, why I do not give 100%. Like, I had days where I just like ate chocolate, and obviously 80 days is so clean that you can't eat it. So for myself, I've got to learn it's okay not to be a perfectionist. If I'm not fully into it, I need to let it go. But I've done my 8 days now, so I'm happy I've done it. But I want great things, and in order to have great things, waking up early and, you know, just doing, you know, I'm like, oh, I wake up at 4 a.m, I work out and I food prep. It isn't good enough. It's not going to get me there. So I need to really do what I love, you know? Like, in Sanity Max 30, I was waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning. That's how everyone knows me on Instagram, because I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and I'm like all singing like, hey, la, la, la. Where I wasn't doing that with 80 days, you know? So I'm like, even though it's good and it's got me my results, I'm like, I need to be true to myself. I need to be like, what lights a fire in my soul, you know? Because it's all your mindset, isn't it? I'm like, well, this is great, Katie. You're looking better than ever and you can't appreciate it. Do you know? Yeah. Sorry about that ramble.
No,
yeah,
I mean,
it's just like...
I appreciate it. You know, it's... Fitness is a very interesting journey. It's like no other journey you would have ever been on. And, you know, I'll say this, and there are probably a lot of people out there that disagree 100% with what I'm about to say, but I'm going to say it anyway because that's just who I am. I don't believe the human body was made to really put yourself through such physical stress every single day of your life. I just don't believe that. I'm in fitness. And that's why I always say that my workouts are blueprints to really help guide your health. And some people are really results driven and they want to be a fitness model. And I've said this before, being a fitness model is a full-time job. It is, you literally like eat, breathe, sleep a certain way so that you can look a certain way for the camera. Then there's people who are fitness professionals. I'll say somebody like myself, Chip, who actually teaches group exercise. You're like, okay, I have to be presentable and I have to be in peak physical condition for me to get in front of a room or for me to be able to personal train. At least this is what I wish most personal trainers would think. I have to be presentable. I have to actually look the part so that it's not necessarily be as ripped as a fitness model, but you have to be able to do the exercises and perform at a certain point so your clients know that you have to perform. No, so your clients know that they that you can do it, and that, you know, just kind of leading by example situation. Then there's the average person that works 8 hours to 10 hours a day that really only have 30, maybe 45 minutes a day to really dedicate to movement. And so that's where it gets crazy, because your entire day is focused on making money for your family or for yourself or to pay bills. Because contrary to popular belief, not everybody is sitting back chilling all day and have all day to work out. I mean, it's literally like a window of opportunity that people have to take advantage of. And so when you put yourself in a situation where you only have this small window of opportunity and you're trying to look a certain way with not a great amount of time, then all of the things that you're doing here filters in other parts of your life. You're like, I want to eat a salad. I have to read a book. You have to do all this thing. That's why I'm getting to my point. That's why I believe that in this 45 minutes, you should be doing exactly what you want to do. And you should be doing it to feel as great as you can possibly feel. Because the feeling is going to filter out into the look, is going to filter out into the happiness, is going to filter out into everything. And if you're doing something for that 30 to 45 minutes a day that you love, everything that you do on the outside is going to naturally flow, because you're like, well, I spent all this time like working out and I really love it and I love the way I'm feeling. Yes, I'm definitely going to eat healthy, because you want to make this, you want to make this as profitable as possible this time. And so I say all that to say, that's why I believe that your results aren't what happens at the end of 80 days or 60 days with insanity. That's not the result. The result is what happens for the next 80 days. The result, it happens 80 days. Like, a lot of people are going to be taking their after photo today. And I'm like, don't show me your after photo today. You know what? Show me your after photo and then show me 80 days from now. That's what I want to see. I want to see the after photo in 80 days from now. Don't show me the before, because it's about sustainability. So for you, while you went through this journey, you did your 80 days. My thing is great. You did your 80 days. You can pat yourself on the back, be successful, have a drink, have some donuts, whatever you want to have. But what are you going to do now? It's about what you're going to do now. It's just the same thing in this group that we're having. Okay, cool. You guys did the challenge of 40. We're going to provide opportunity for you to sustain your results and to sustain your mindset. And that's the thing. It's like, what are you going to do now? And last I'll say, and then I'll give the floor back to you, because you sparked some energy in my soul this morning. 2 days, yesterday and the day before, I went to Chip and Sam, and yesterday Scott was there, and I was just like, I don't feel like doing anything. I just did not feel like working out. I was like very unmotivated. One day I didn't have tennis practice. Yesterday I did, and even though I went to tennis practice, I was just like, I shouldn't have came here today. And it's something that I absolutely love, because so you have to follow your body, you have to follow your soul. You have to do what you want to do and not focus on if it's going to give you a six-pack or not, because this journey is filled with trials and tribulations and ups and downs. And so why not for that 30 to 45 minutes a day, aren't you doing something that you love doing? And so just wanted to say that.
No, I completely agree. Like, the way I look at it, I'm like, this is not for 8 days, this is for life. I'm like, Kitty, you're more tired, you're like, I don't really want to do this. I'm like, it's for life, who cares, you know? Like, so next time I try a program, I don't really love it, I'm like, Kitty, this is for life, you know, you're not feeling it, let it go, girl. Just let it go. Do something, you know, just do something you love. Like, Insanity Max 30 was ridiculous. Very hard, as you know, ridiculous program. But I went on a 3-week holiday, and I just didn't want to yo-yo. I didn't want to like put on that weight. So I did Insanity Max 30 every day. And because I did it and I loved it and I felt so good, I wanted to eat right. And then like I moved into hotels at like in September, and I didn't want to be a consultant. You know, I didn't want to be like, oh, well, that's it. My life's over with now. I'm just going to gain all this weight. And I stayed with it until April. And I love it. It's like that 30 minutes in the morning. That's my time, because as a consultant, you go to work at 8 o'clock. It's not a 9 to 5 job. I could be in the office till 9 o'clock, you know, depending on the day. So I need something that will wake me up in the morning, you know, that I really love. And I'm like, well, whatever, Kate, you don't want a six-pack. I don't want a six-pack. I ain't even bothered about a six-pack. I would just want to walk around and feel good. And I realized I was just like, for 8 days, I'm like, nah, I'm not feeling this. And cardio flow, I bummed that off after like 8 weeks. I'm like, I'm not feeling it. I hate it. I was just like, what is the point? So then I switched it for Insanity session, and I tried Swift Shot one day, and I felt so much better. I'm like, oh, well, people can say I haven't finished the program properly. I don't care. This is my journey. This is my life. Yeah. It's just so lovely.
It's fine. I mean, there are a lot of people who don't. I mean, there are plenty of people out there who are like, insanity is too hard. Max 30 is too hard. And I'm like, I agree 100%. So stop doing it. You know, I don't care. I could care less if people do my programs or not. My whole thing is like, what are you doing for you? Like, I'd much rather you do 80-day obsession or PIO if that's the thing that's going to get you moving every day. So, but congratulations, you did finish. That is amazing. I'm very excited for you. So tell me something else. Tell me, so you said, do you work for PwC?
No, I work for Capgemini, which is an IT consultancy company. It's so I move around quite a bit on different projects. I live in hotels 4 to 5 days a week, so it's very challenging. But I want to prove to myself and to everyone else who has a job like me that you can stay fit. You don't have to eat sandwiches every lunchtime. You don't have to, you know, just to show that there's structure. And so I started like vlogging when I did Max 30, and I found that okay. But even like 8-day obsession, I'd probably go, yeah, this is probably a bit too much, just because I was waking up at 4 a.m. But I was doing that for Max 30. But you wake up at 4, you go eat your pre-workout meal, that's another hour, then you go do an hour in the gym. If you love it, it's fine because you don't mind it. But if you don't really love it, it is, you know, and then you get tired and you start begrudging it, you know. But yeah, I just want to show like everyone, as well as myself, that you can be successful and you can still be healthy. You don't just, you know, and I'm just trying to change like the mindsets of my colleagues around me. I get a lot of hate sometimes because I go in with my like containers, and, you know, with my food, but I'm happy. I'm just like, wherever, go live my best life and all that, so that they can, you know, drink every night. That's fine. Whatever makes them happy. But I'm happy.
I think that, you know, one thing is, and I know you're not trying to do this, but you said like, you know, trying to help change the mindset of people. The best way to change people's mindset is to not talk about what you're doing, honestly. Unless they ask, you know? And I mean, you know, you can go out, not to say that you have to have a drink, but like you can go out and drink a healthy drink and, you know, but never say you guys should eat healthy or never say you should work out. You never have to say a word. I'm telling you right now, for people out there who have, I mean, because that filters into the lives of people who have spouses that don't work out, or they look at their fitness as like kind of a burden on the family. Like, I was just thinking before I got on the call with you, I still put sugar in my coffee. And I promise you that if I posted a photo and someone saw and I'm talking about sugar, like real sugar, like, you know, I promise you, if I posted a photo of me and there was sugar behind me, somebody would be like, Shaun T, you have sugar? And the first thing I would say is, I'm not the only one that lives in this house. Like, one time I posted a photo and we had Domino's on the counter. Someone was like, I see those Domino's boxes. I'm like, I'm not the only adult that lives in this house. Like, so Scott lives in this house, and Scott can eat whatever he wants. I don't eat meat. Trust and believe, we have two different kinds of meals in the refrigerator. There's meat and there's, you know, pescatarian or vegetarian or whatever. And so I'm talking to you and everyone who's probably going to listen to it. You never have to say a word about your fitness to your spouse, to your friend, to your mom. You never have to say it. You just have to do it. They're like, hey, you want to go out? Yeah, give me a half an hour. I need an extra half an hour for me. And then, like, I got to get my life together. You don't have to say I'm working out. Eventually, they're going to be like, wait, you work out? Like, what is it that you're doing? Because if you're like, you should do Max 30, or you should do Insanity, or you should do, you know, Turbo. If you say you should do, it kind of puts the pressure on people to be like, well, I'm not doing something right. They already know. They know they out drinking. They know they business. They already know. Your colleagues already know. Because let me tell you what happens. Because it happened to me. I used to travel all the time for work. And while I was in fitness, I still would go to the hotel bar, or, you know, go out with friends. And then the first thing I do when I get back to the room or the next morning is like, oh, like, I ate this last night. And then you look in the mirror and you're like, I have to work out, you know, excuse me, I have to work out to double time today or whatever. But the thing is, like, you never have to say a word. You never have to say a word. If people want to eat in your house how they want to eat, you can be like, cool. You can make two. I mean, some people might be like, it's hard to make 2 meals. No, it's not. If your spouse wants to make this, be like, cool, I'll make you that, and you have your meal. They're gonna be looking. They're gonna be looking, and they're gonna be looking at you change. They're gonna be looking at how you feel, and there might be some rebellion because they're like, well, I don't want to eat that. But that's just like guilt, you know, that's just like their insecurity popping in. And you could be like, I never said you had to eat like this. Like, I'm minding my business. Is it good? Cool. You know what I mean? So anyway, so like going back to the initial conversation of changing the mindset, you know what, just being you helps change people's mindset. There are those colleagues that are looking at you when you ain't around. I promise you, they're like, oh my God, yeah, like, we should really try to get fit like Katie. I promise you they're having that conversation when you're not there. But by you not ever saying a word about it ever again, it's going to be so much more impactful if, you know. So anyway.
No, I agree. Like, I can remember before, I like all my partners be like, oh, you have to do that. But then I'm just like, well, they don't, you know, and it didn't help. Like, obviously, like, I love Insanity. So I was like doing Insanity. I'm like, come on, you go to, you know, and they just like, and it doesn't help because you're like trying to force them, and then I'm like, oh, you're being negative in my space. It's fine, don't do it. Leave the room. You're ruining my work.
Yeah, but, because you're bringing them into you kind of said,
yeah, my happy soul, and I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, it's much better if they say, hey, like, what is the workout you doing? Can I try it? Then they're going to be in there looking for help rather than being like, I can't believe she forced me to do this. So question, this is not ending the phone call. I just wanted to have this question. Was there any question you ever wanted to ask? I always ask me because I always, you know, like when I first met Serena Williams, I'm like, oh my God, or Rafael Nadal, like, I love tennis. There's always like questions that I'm like, oh my God, I wish I could ask them because, you know, I love tennis, and I love that they're at the top of the game. So I just want to know if there's any questions you ever wanted to ask.
Yeah, not that many. It's not that many, but I want to be prepared. Because my family know such a massive impact on my life. They was just like, Kitty, write, write it down, plan it. So this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. Don't waste it. Don't be there like
That's so sweet.
Yeah, I think one of the questions would be, because I read your book, and it always seemed like you always had people on your journey with you, or like you was doing fine. But did you ever get lonely when it was just you doing it, like on your grind?
I get lonely even when there's people around me. So this was like 2 years ago. I remember just like, I was here, I was married, I had a, successful business. I think I don't know if I just filmed something, and I get lonely in my own thoughts, because this might be a little bit deep, but
No.
like I feel like I'm internally, I don't think anyone understands me, even till today, which I think actually helps with, me wanting to motivate people, because I have so much in my soul that I can't even begin to grab what's down there. And so there are a lot of times, in the way that I think, in the way that I feel, that I'm just like, no one gets me. And it does get lonely, because it's very hard to explain. But even I would even say, actually, since we've had kids, there would be like Scott and his parents, his parents raised him, so they were raised a certain way. And then we have our kids. And so I have my way of raising my kids. And there would be like, not necessarily conflict, but there's definitely a difference, because I'm like, no. So I would feel like I'm the only one. So I do feel alone. But when I do, I think it's what you do when you feel alone. There have been times, even as an adult, that I just like completely like lost it. Like I had like breakdowns, because it just gets so overwhelming for people not to really understand where your soul is. But now I'm like, this is me. And then, but I'm like, this is me. But then that's why I feel like it is important to have people closest to you that really understand you. Like, I have 2 people in my life, outside of Scott, of course, that no matter what, like I'm telling you, no matter what, I could call, because I'm in this like crazy, like outer space emotional land. And one is my friend Draco. He's on the Shaun T Trains Europe videos and then my friend Aisha, who's another one. They're just there. They just get it. They just understand me in a way of like, they're like, I get it. It doesn't matter what I say, what I do, how I say it, how much I scream, how much I cry, how much I laugh. They just get it. And I think it's important to have like 1 or 2 of those people who just get, like, no matter what, get you. But you also, that's where the like trust and believe comes from, because you also, when I feel lonely, I also have to go back into a place of, okay, this is kind of like a mental struggle that I'm going through. And so I do revisit my childhood a lot and say to myself, if I've gotten through this, then I know I can get through this. I just really tap into some of the power and some of the, I just tap into some of the struggles that I had and realize what superpower I gained from that. And then I'll say, okay, like, get out of here and use that. So yes, there have been times.
No. Sorry. No, I get it, because myself, like, because I'm from my family, and I'm from the valleys, so it's like small towns where people are born here and they die here, and I've always been different. I've always wanted to travel, and like I used to feel more alone in the room with my family than if I was alone. So I like moved 20 miles away. Not that they're bad, it's just that they just didn't get me or what I wanted. So I was just like, I can move like even now I'm like, oh, I can move over to the other side of the world and I would be fine. And they're like, oh, but Kate, you like to be alone. It's like, not that I like to be alone. I had to adapt to like to be alone, because it's hard when, you know, they just.
But it's like, it's kind of like you're so familiar with that space where other people don't understand that space. It sounds so deep and probably so crazy to people that don't understand it, but I get it. You feel less alone when you are alone than when you're with a lot of people. I feel you. I say, like, literally embrace that feeling, because that is a happy place. And you being able to adapt is actually a superpower. Being able to adapt. And it's almost like you have a blank canvas. You know what I'm saying? So you literally, when I'm alone and I seek moments to be by myself, I feel like I have a blank canvas where, you know, my brain becomes open. I think, are you a sensitive person?
I'm very sensitive. So I don't let many people close to me, but when I let them close and they do one thing I don't like, I'm not very I'm loyal as a dog. So I expect, you know, like for example, in my town, I would never ever go home without a friend. I need to know where they are all the time. I've got their back. So me and my one friend, we went on holiday together once, and she went off with like a boy and she just left me, and that was it. That I speak to her, but I'm like, you would never get a chance to go on holiday, you know. So I'm very sensitive with certain principles. Like my relationships with my friends, I'm more closer with my friends than I am with a boyfriend. If you go, because they've been there, we've built up that time, that passion. I'm very hard faced because I've had to be, but I'm very sensitive as well, and I do anything for the person I love. I can't. I think when you've experienced unhappiness, you can't watch people be unhappy. Even if I don't know them, I'll like buy them a chocolate bar, or if they're ill, I'll get them paracetamol. You know, like just because I don't like watching people struggle. I may not even know them. I could just see their struggle, and I'll just be nice because I'm just like, oh, you know.
Yeah. No, I feel you. I get it. All right, next question.
Okay.
I love this. I love the question.
Sorry. Did you always know you had greatness within you?
Yes. Yes, yes, and yes. And some people might take that vein, but I just always knew I was different. It goes back to what I was saying. I always knew I was different. From the time I was like a very young kid, I was so sensitive. And as I started to grow up, I started to see people become very complacent. And I remember saying as a very young kid, I'm like, I will not live in this area. Like, this is like, I'm not going to be here. I remember down to the point, like, I watch my kids in the sink upstairs, but now not, because they're, you know, Silas is huge. But they go out there in the tub now. But I remember my mother washing me in the kitchen sink in an apartment as a baby. I remember that. And I remember knowing that it just didn't feel 100% like a place that I wanted to be. And I always knew that I would have the power to move on, you know, and be something better than what I was in. So, yeah.
I see that. I agree. I completely agree with that. Like, even my mother, it breaks her heart that, like, I want to move away, and she was just like, you've never wanted to stay here. I'm like, because it's not for me. It's yeah, always wanted more. Even like at school, I was like very, very different. I was like, it's fine, because I got bullied for years. I'm like, it's fine, because one day I'm gonna have a good job, and I'm not gonna live here, and you'll all still be here in your little factory jobs. But you had to, because, you know, you got bullied every day. You're like, it's fine, this is not forever. And I knew, and yeah, it's good.
No, I feel you. I think, and I just want to make reference to people who did stay in their hometown and who did like it. I'm like, that's totally fine.
Yeah.
But like, there are some people, I mean, I'm the only one in my family that was like, deuces. You know, everyone else is in New Jersey, pretty much in the same town, a surrounding area, and they're 100% happy. But for me, I was just like, I just have a mind of like, I'm constantly creating a new opportunity internally, and I have to seek that out, and I have to literally live in that space. So if you live, I'm just saying to people who, if you live in your hometown and you're bringing greatness to your hometown, then go ahead and live it. But so anyway, next question.
That's right. What was your why then?
What's
like
that?
When you were, what was your why then?
As a kid?
Yeah, like what was your, you know, when you was becoming a dancer, and like what was your why that woke you up? Like what was that thing that pushed you through it? And the other one is, what is your why now? Are they different or are they still the same?
My why is always, so you know how I say run 10 meters past the finish line? You know, I constantly say that. I just refuse to settle for I just refuse to think that right now and what I'm doing right now is the end. Like I'm focused on the present, but I feel like what I'm doing right now always builds me for something greater. And so I kind of take a step-by-step approach to build. And what I mean by that is, even in my career now, I would have people saying, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this, or you need to get that. And I'd say, no, because I have to finish this. I have to finish this feeling. I have to cross this finish line. And the minute I cross it, I feel like I've gained the tools to continue. So my why is really always what's happening at this moment. And usually it's when people tell me no. Because honestly, I feel like being told no fuels the fire. I'm like, okay, great. Now this is the catalyst for me to push myself to the next level. But there isn't never really been for me my why, like my family or, you know, success. Like the why is, where am I living right now, and what tools have I gained at this moment that I can carry forward, and now I can create an opportunity that makes me utilize all the 7 superpowers. But now I know that, you know, I'm confident and capable of pushing forward and always running 10 meters past the finish line. And no matter what I'm doing, something new, this might sound really weird, but I always stand in the mirror and I reach for myself, and I reach to pass the baton to myself. I'm like, okay, this is going to be hard. And then when I feel like I've given myself that power, like I feel it's just like an amazing thing. So
it's beautiful. It is. Like my why, like I thought, like my why is just to be the best version of myself. Like, and you know when you're not, you know when you do more. So I'm glad that yours is kind of similar, because I always think, well, Katie, you know, everyone's got their family. I'm like, it's not my family, because my family would want me to stay here. I'm like, it's more me. So sometimes I feel, I know it's good to be selfish, but sometimes it feels so selfish, because I'm like, I'm the person, I'm my why, because I always want, you know, I want more and I don't want to settle. I'm like, this is not okay, Katie. You've got more. I'm like, you're going to regret it. So I'm glad it's not just me.
Well, I think I want to just respond to that. Selfish is, you know, someone who's negatively selfish is, it's about me, give me, make, you know, help me look good, buy me the clothes so that I can go out and get attention and, you know, and get more attention from the boys or the girls or whatever, so that then these people can then be like, tell me I'm great. And then I come home and then I have all these friends, and then my family thinks that I'm so great. And then it's like, you know what I mean? Selfishness, like the negative selfishness, is when everything's filtered to you and you're not giving anything back. You know, it's not like you're asking your parents, hey, or your family, I really need to look good in this outfit because I'm going on stage and, you know, I'm talking about whatever. And then you make money from that opportunity and you go back home, you say, I'm paying your rent for the month. Thank you for helping me out. I had the unfortunate, you know, and that's the difference between being selfish, negatively selfish, and positively selfish, where you're saying, I have to feel great in order to deliver greatness to the people around me. So there you go.
Love that. Yeah, because like with my mother, like she'd like me to spend more time with her. I'm like, I can't. Katie needs Katie time. So, but Katie will have so much time. But Katie needs Katie's not there. Katie needs like in the nights, like so when I go away in the hotels, you would think I would want to be talking on the phone to people. I'm like, I've had a long day at work. I need these hours to myself. I can't, you know, I'll text you one at night. I don't want to be on the phone with you. So I feel bad.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on.
Okay.
I was just making sure Silas wasn't crying. Sorry.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
no,
fine.
you're good. You're good.
Yeah, and like I don't want to be on the phone with my parents or like anyone pretty much throughout the week, and I feel sometimes like they don't necessarily understand. I'm like, but I need my time. I literally just saw you on the weekend. Don't need to talk to you every day. We people in my family, they speak to their parents like 3 times a day. I'm like, I can't. That would make me happy. That would not me, you know. So, but it's just because I'm trying to go away, relax, be the best version of myself. But then I'm, you know, I'll buy my parents a holiday. I want them to have the best things in life. And then when I am relaxed, I'm happy. Then, for example, tonight I'm like, okay, you know, we're gonna have a film night. I'm gonna have fajitas tonight with white wraps. I'm just like, you know, I've just finished. I was like, I'll cook for us. So I do try, but I feel like sometimes it's expected for me to be there like every day wanting that attention, where I find that I do need a lot of my time, because when you go to work and you gotta, you know, put on your work face every day, you need a lot of time to like unwind, you know?
You need a lot of time to yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you have to be on all the time, you definitely need that time to settle down. All right, next question.
Okay. So, what's it? What's your morning routine? Like, do you have one? Like, what's that thing that you need to do to be successful, or do you not need that?
Yeah, I do. And if I don't have it, it's just not the best day. So I wake up around 5:50 every morning.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, and then I come downstairs, I make my coffee, I sit, and I literally like think. I just think about what it is that I want to do for the day. But, you know, coffee is my friend. We have a really good conversation every morning. It's just so good. It's funny because I was talking with Chip yesterday, and he was like, I don't really feel the caffeine. And I'm like, I don't necessarily know if I go after coffee for the caffeine, even though I know it wakes me up by the end of my cup. Like, I know the coffee works, but it's just something about having that moment of like the gradual wake up. Like, for me, it's kind of similar to a plane taking off. I definitely feel that slow rise when I'm having my cup of coffee, and not only in the rise in my energy, but just in my thought process. The creativity starts to flow, because that's when I'm most creative, in the morning. And then I turn on the news because I like to know what's happening in the world. And I have a friend who's on one of the news stations, so I like to watch her, see what she's wearing. And then I text her. I'm like, cute outfit. And then I gradually start working into the messaging I want to give. So usually when I post a photo, or if I post a motivational message in the morning, it's what I found internally on the taking off of that airplane. You know, it's what am I feeling? And then I always look to what happened yesterday that's going to make today great. So what happened yesterday that was really, really great? And then I say, okay, today I'm going to utilize that to help start my day. And if anything gets rough or tough, then I know that I have something positive that's in my pocket to move forward. It's a very simple routine, but I need it. I need time to myself. And when the baby started sleeping longer through the night, I was just like, I definitely have to get up early, because waking up to twins, you love it because you're like, oh my gosh, and I'm so happy. But then by the time the babysitters arrive, you realize, wait a minute, I didn't even have time. And then you have to start thinking later. So I like to think early.
Yeah, agreed.
Thanks.
I have one last question, if that's okay.
Yes, it's fine.
This is quite a deep one. But yeah, so yeah, you'll I think you'll like it. So you found Scott at 32, was that correct?
Correct.
Yeah, 32.
Yes.
So how long, because you said, you know, how long do you think it took you to love yourself? Because you mentioned in your book that you'd wake up at like 2 a.m. and you would argue with him. So it's pretty much like, you know, we all say, oh, you've got to love yourself before you love someone else. But then, you know, even when you was with Scott, you probably didn't realize you love yourself enough. So do you feel like you can not, you know, still have that little part where you've got to learn to get over all your struggles with someone? Or do you feel like you'd be better with that? If you get what I mean, what I'm trying to say?
Like, phrase the question.
Yeah,
I mean, I get it. I get what you're saying, but I want to answer it the right way.
Yeah. So, do you think you can come over the bridge in a relationship? You know, like where you still probably had those issues where you were waking up 2 a.m. and you're just going to Scott, oh, you know, you don't love me and all that stuff. Do you feel like when you have those struggles, if you find the person you love, you can get over it with them, or you should? Because I feel like myself that I have issues, so I'm like, okay, you know, I need a lot of time by myself to get over it, and I will. But then, will you always have that little bit where perhaps when you meet the right person, then you'll realize, oh, actually, I can work through it with you a little bit? Because, as you know, if you don't love yourself fully, you can't give everything to that person.
Yeah, well, I definitely agree with that. I think it's just being present, you know, and here's the thing. You're not getting over it with that person. Like, I didn't get over that with Scott. You know, I had to, because he can't be my therapist in that situation, right? And so you have to take a proactive approach to, number one, admit to yourself that you have these issues or this blockage or whatever it is. And then you have to take a proactive approach to figure out what you need to do to break down the barrier. And so for me, it was definitely going to therapy. But I mean, you know how hard it is to admit to yourself that you have this blockage. Now, when it comes to, you know, I don't think you could deny love. Love is a feeling that is so unbelievably powerful that even if you're going through any particular struggle, you can love somebody, but you won't be able to fully love them, because love requires you to visit so many different emotions. It's happiness, it's sadness, it's openness, it's sometimes you have to be closed. You know, there's so many different emotions in love that when you do love somebody, if you have issues that require you to go back and figure out why you don't love yourself fully, they're going to show up, you know. And so, yeah, you can get in a relationship, you can find love, but I feel like a lot of times, I know a lot of times that those internal issues come up when you are in a relationship with someone else, because the dynamic of the relationship, if it's real love and true love and someone that really loves you and you really want to give as much as you can to that person, you're going to figure out, I can't give this part because I don't have that much. I don't have that to give to myself, you know? And so, yeah, it's crazy. But for me, in that part of the book, that was the worst. For me, when I realized it wasn't my fault, you know, when I realized, like, oh, I'm reacting this way because someone violated me at such a young age, so it changed my psyche, then I could breathe. But before you actually know what that is, you think it's you. You think you're the culprit. You think it's your fault. And so now you have to admit wrongdoing, when really it's just like I call it a whip. It's a work in progress, you know? And whenever you find the foundation of any issue that you're going through, you feel so much better because you actually know where it came from. Because if you can't search backwards and find where it came from, then guess what? You think it's coming from you in today's time, and you feel like you're a horrible person. and who wants to admit fully that they're a horrible person, you know, and believe it. And so then you go into this thing called a tornado. And a tornado, you know, just rips up everything around you. So then, like, all the other areas in your life and in your love that you actually have and it's amazing gets destroyed because it is one thing that, you know, you really need to focus and work on. And so it is very difficult to get past moments like that, especially trying to realize, first of all, admitting it, then diving deep and digging deep into where it came from. And then when you do find the foundation, you then have to destroy that part of the foundation so that even though it's always, quote unquote, a part of you, you have to know where it came from, you know? So, yeah, that is terrible. When I was reading the book, like that part of the book, I had to have a break. I said to the director, I was like, I need a break because this is crazy. So yeah. When I was doing my audiobook, I would say. So, yes. But, you know, if I'm not, you know, I'm talking to you, but I'm also talking to other people out there. I'm like, if you have an issue, I don't even want to call it an issue. If you're having an experience that's blocking you from opening up to people in general, and, you know, some people use exercise and social media and work as a mask, or what I like to call a scrim to what's really happening. And so just like I've referenced, you know, someone earlier a few days ago who said, you know, they want to go on their vacation and basically act like everything's okay. It's really tough to do that because, first of all, the majority of people won't be fooled. And secondly, you're going to be miserable trying to live in a different emotion than what you're feeling. And so if you take a proactive approach to trying to understand what it is, even if it's just dealing with that feeling of that sadness in the morning or something, it's just like, all right, I'm sad, I'm going to cry. What do I have to do to like focus and get through it at this moment? And then boom. And then at least you've had time to yourself to focus and deal. Maybe it's, okay, today I need to be alone, or today I just want to say, I want to go on some sort of, you know, just create a day that you can actually get through, but you can't deny the emotion that you're going
through. Yeah. It's amazing. Well, I can ask you another question, but I'm fully aware that your time is precious and you want to see your two babies. Because Dad, you're probably like, I'm being really polite, but I'm missing my kids. So I'm completely fine if you want to go now, no problem at all.
No, but I just want to know, like, so overall, I could talk to you all day, but I just want to know, you know, how's it going? How is your journey going overall? Like, if you were to say on a scale of 1 to 10, and I'm not saying that, you know, just your experience with ADA Obsession or your experience with this group, but overall in your journey of mental and physical fitness, what would you say on a scale of 1 to 100? Because a 1 to 10 is boring. I'm like, I mean, that gives me like 10 numbers. But if you get like, you know, on a scale of 1 to 100, what would you say, you know, how are you feeling about it? 100 being, I feel absolutely amazing.
I was gonna originally say 75, but then I was like, but I'll probably give it a 50, just because I feel great, but like I know I have a lot more in me to go. So I'm gonna set a crazy goal for myself for next. Have you heard of the Titan Games? The Rock's new show. Yeah, it's the Rock's new show that's coming out this year. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna set myself a challenge. I'm gonna watch it this year and see what it's about. I'm going to set myself a challenge to be strong enough to go on it the year after, because, you know, and that's going to be, it's going to be a whole new fitness journey, you know, whole new training. I'm strong now, but like I need to be able to like do all the, you know, it's completely different training. But I feel like for me, I don't use exercise as a mask, but yeah, I do. So if I struggle, I will overtrain. I will take it to the gym because I'm I can be quite an aggressive person because I don't, because sometimes you get frustrated, you know, you're born in the wrong place, you get annoyed, you know, you just want to be by yourself, or stuff will happen. So I just go to the gym. I'm fully aware of who I am. I'm fully aware I'm quite a snappy person. So I go to the gym, I train really intensely, and I'm nice and mellow for the day. I have to work out in the morning, but then if I get, you know, if I get really annoyed, then I may have to go to the gym later on and stuff like that. So I feel like mentally I was really good, but now 8 days knocked me off. That whole read feed day, yeah, not good for Katie. Katie can't be like really clean, like too clean, and then have a lot of bad stuff, then too clean. It's not good for me. For me to live my best life, I kind of want to, for example, you guys, you'll have like gluten-free pizza, stuff like that. So perhaps every whatever days, 40, 50, I don't know. When I want it, I'll have it. To genuinely maintain, I just want to do what I love.
Yeah. And that's the thing, it's doing what you love. And, you know, some people get 50-50, like, oh, you're only half as happy or whatever. I feel like, you know, I want to say you're at a perfect place of balance, right? You know where you don't want to be, and you know where you want to go. And it's not really being 100%, because it's really hard to be 100%. You can have moments of 100%. That's why I prefer.
Oh yeah. Oh, and I work those moments. you know, I'll be like, oh, I feel like a model today, and I'll walk around like, you know. But then, because you've got to roll those times, because they don't come that often. Like last year, I would never ever, you know, as a kid, I used to be called the Lyra, because I'd wear so many clothes. I hate my body. I was very small. So now I've got the confidence to walk around wearing crop tops, you know, and I'll wear them. I'm like, I fought for 6 years working out, even doing, like, I'm wearing a crop top. I'm like, I don't care. I'm just like, you know, people may be like, oh, she's always wearing a sports top. I'm like, yeah, but you don't know the backstory to how I, you know, like, It's been a long time for me to do this. And like, I will work my bum off, and I'll sweat and I'll drip, because I don't want to be that girl that walks around in barely anything for the boys, because I'm not like that.
I have a challenge.
Okay.
Because overtraining is not good. This is Shaun T, your trainer coming out. So I don't want you to overtrain. I want you to focus train. Like, train for a focus. So if you know that you are going through something and you have to go through the gym twice a day, then I want your morning to be your cardio, and then your evening to be your focus lifting, like no plyometrics. And the reason why I say that is because when you overtrain, you know, I know you want to get stronger. And if you actually overtrain, you're actually doing the opposite to your body, right? Yeah. So I just want to bring that up, because you can literally take your 50-50 and go to 75 if you actually, because even though you say, I feel great when I train, like your body, your internal self is like, oh, my muscles are breaking down, and then that's going to lead to you possibly being like, oh, why am I not building here? And then you're like, I'm hungry, and then you get super hungry, and you want to, you know what I mean? So if you do a double session, I'm just throwing this out there, make sure the morning is Insanity Max 30 because you love it, and the evening is Titan training, you know, and things that are really going to be specific. I don't know what it is, but maybe pull-ups and, you know, so on and so forth. And on, you know, so just try to really balance that out, especially if you know you're going through some sort of journey this week. You're like, oh my God, this week is going to be crazy. I definitely need to go to the gym. And then also, you know, your personality seems very spunky, very spicy, very, you know, you could be excited. You probably could be a little like crazy. You know, so I get it. So find something that has nothing to do with exercise that can fuel that as well. I don't know, like for me, I love going to the movies, because while I love being crazy, I actually love movies by myself. There'll be time I go to the movies literally by myself, you know. So try to find that one thing, and not reading. I mean, literally not you doing something physically, but like you having a moment where, oh, maybe it's a coffee shop. Maybe it's treating yourself to dinner, or even dinner with a friend. Just say, hey, come to dinner with me. Let's just go do something different. Just to find a little bit more balance, because exercise is really, really, really great for you. But I want you to be able to enter those Titan games next year feeling like well-rounded, because you're going to need the mental, you're going to need the physical, and you're going to definitely need to be creative. So what other creative things can you do to bring joy and fun and quote unquote stress relief to your life? Maybe you need to go out with your friends one day, your coworkers, you know what I mean? Maybe having them see you, oh, Katie's out, oh snap, Katie's out. They probably don't say all snap over there, but you know what I'm saying?
Well, I'd be out if they did, if they was all like, hey,
Yeah, they would be excited. Just try to maneuver your way through different creative opportunities and create opportunities for yourself so that you can just find like a little more, not never abandon that exercise, because that's your main source of, stress relief and fun and excitement. But you seem creative enough to have other areas where you can say, oh my gosh, like I actually like doing that, or that brought like greatness to my soul today.
Yeah, I definitely need that, because I find I'm like way productive like all the time, and then if I don't do something productive, like I'm guilt. So I'm trying to find that balance, because I wake up really early and then I work out. And I'm a very efficient person, but then it's sometimes it's like, Kate, you need some relaxation because you're going to burn out. And then it's trying to find, okay, you've gone too relaxing now. You've just completed a Netflix series in a weekend, Kate. So it's trying to find that balance.
Your body won't lie. Your body doesn't lie. Listen to your body. I mean, I had to do that yesterday and the day before. I was like, I do not feel like working out. And just the week before that, or maybe it's a week or so before that, Chip was like, oh, I don't feel like working out today. And I'm like, why are you going to do it? And he was like, remember what you said to me last week? Because I was going through the same thing. So just, you can relax one day and then you might be like, oh, I feel great today. And then you can, ramp yourself back up. So just don't put the pressure on yourself. I mean, one thing you have that a lot of people don't have is, a love and a joy for working out. Some people have to force themselves to work out, which is, and then they feel the result and happiness at the end. They're like, I'm glad I did this. This is something you wake up to do every day. So you have the physicality down pat. Now you need to like find balance in terms of, relaxing your mind, releasing the energy so you can refresh with new energy.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, thank you so much. You're so sweet.
Oh, she's so lovely. Yeah, I did the Spartan race weekend last weekend.
I saw that. That's awesome. It was all you and your girls?
Yeah, my coach Megan came over from America, her husband and her kids. So the kids did the Spartan race, and her husband did it. What I love about her is that she shows me up every time, like every time. I'm like, when I grow up, I want to be like you.
But that's fun. That's great. That's fun. Yeah, I love it.
It makes me step my game up, because I find, because I'm the only one of my friends here that works out. So obviously when I go to the gym, I'm always like that more better. So I love it when I'm humbled, Yeah,
when someone's like, and you're like, oh, okay. Well, yeah.
You're like, there's my personal trainer.
I love that. Good for you.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Have a lovely day.
You too. Have fun. What are you doing that's fun today that's not working out?
I'm going to go have a pizza.
Actually, you had a donut and you got your nails done. So keep it going.
Yeah, I'm going to have a pizza with my friends, and I'm going to have fajitas. It's a calorie-free day because I don't have many of them, and I'm just going to go with it.
I love
that. On Monday, I'm on that hybrid calendar, so I'm going to smash it then on Monday, get back to it. So, yeah.
Well, thank you, and good luck. Have fun. I'll see you in the group. I'm sure I'll connect with you in the group at some point.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye. Have a good day. Bye-bye.